So you get locked up in 2002.
2003. Yeah.
Well, that same year, 2003, the Bonanno boss, Joey Massino, gets arrested for RICO.
Right.
He gets denied bail.
Right.
So he's sitting in jail.
Mm-hmm.
Then that next year, 2004, Massino gets found guilty.
Right. And then he cooperates 6 minutes later.
Right. So he's facing the death penalty. Right. I believe like the district attorney, that was like the last thing he did before he retired was to make sure that Massino got the death penalty, which was kind of interesting because this would be the first Mafia boss to get executed since the Murder Inc. boss.
That's right.
Lepke Buchalter?
Yes.
He was actually a Jewish gangster.
Yeah, so my cousin Anthony's side is related to Happy Maione. That was part of that clique. He actually was executed as well, I believe.
Murder Inc.
Yeah, Murder Inc. He was a part of that. My cousin Andy's side, his wife's side was related to Happy Maione, who was a hitter for them as well.
Got it. Yeah. Murder Inc. were absolute lunatics.
Yeah, hotline killing people on phones, yeah.
Okay, so like you mentioned, Massino gets found guilty, and then right afterwards, he starts to cooperate. This is a very big deal.
Well, he's wearing a wire. No one knows.
Well, no, but before he starts wearing a wire, he goes and says, I'm going to cooperate. Now, the big deal is this is the first major Mafia boss to ever cooperate.
Well, the head of the five families on the commission, head of the commission. It's like the biggest, he's the biggest rat of all time. Absolutely.
Right. That's why I started calling him the Last Don.
Yeah, he's the biggest cooperator of all time. There's no one else that's bigger than that.
Right. And when he went to cooperate, at first they were like, well, we don't need you for anything. We already know, whatever. But then he's like, well, I got an interesting piece of information for you. There's a hit on the prosecutor.
Yes. Yeah, that's true.
So he started wearing a wire with the acting boss.
Vinny Gorgeous.
Yes. Vincent Basciano?
Yeah.
So this is a very interesting situation.
Right.
Because I recently had Dominic Sacali.
My buddy.
Yeah. And he kind of broke down this whole situation. The way he kind of described it was that Massino kind of engineered this whole thing before the trial. He essentially put the word out to kill the prosecutor, knowing that they would go along with it, and then he would almost get a get out of jail free card when he confirmed it.
Right.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Right. Uh-huh.
So he wore a wire with Vincent, who kind of admitted to it in a certain type of way in the conversation.
Yeah, but it was more or less they were trying to get him on a couple of murders as well. You know, they put him on a couple of murders. The Randy murder, the one that Ace did. There was a few murders that they tried to get, he caught him on.
Right, because Vincent ended up getting life without parole.
Well, think about it. And, you know, you got to feel bad for Dominic. Why are you talking about... We had taught, as being an associate, working my way up, I was proposed to be a member. Even if the boss comes up to you and goes, good work on that murder, you look at him like he's fucking nuts. There's no statute of limitations. You don't know who's listening. You don't bring up murder. It's like something you did and it then don't exist no more.
Yeah.
Great. What the fuck you talking about? Oh, we killed this guy, that guy. It's like you're breaking all the fucking rules now. You're the hierarchy. Why are you bringing up murders? Who gives a fuck about it? Don't talk about them.
Yeah. I mean, especially in a jail cell.
In a jail cell.
Yeah.
In the federal cooperation where you could get a Rule 35 anytime you want. There's no such thing as cooperation being ended. So you could cooperate and keep cooperating. There's no such thing as it. You could have 100 years, hear something in jail, and then cooperate on it. And they'll give you a deal.
Well, yeah, Joe Massino cooperated.
Right.
He goes into witness protection eventually.
Right.
And then last year he died at age 80.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, I wasn't a fan of him, so, you know. And he lived in Howard Beach, Queens. That's where we're from. He killed a lot of people for no reason. You know, I don't condone stuff like that. You killing a guy because you don't like the way he killed someone? The fuck? You sent the guy to kill a dude. The guy comes to tell you he handled the piece of work and you don't like the way he killed him, so you kill him. Now you're just playing God. You know what I'm saying? You're doing like fucked up shit. You're killing people, taking their businesses. You're like a grime ball almost. You know what I mean? I don't like shit like that.
I mean, what was the effect in the Mafia community when they find out that the boss of all bosses...
I was home for that. I just got home. We were the laughing stock of the fucking 5 boroughs. We literally got set back for like 10 years for that.
Right. And because of that, the Bonannos didn't really get an official boss until like 2011.
In 2011, you're correct. And I was out for that. And I'll tell you why, because they tried saying anybody that was straightened out under Joe Massino wasn't recognized, which he straightened out everybody, except Vinny Gorgeous, who I work for, was straightened out under Carmine Galante. So Vinny was his own league. And Vinny says, no one's fucking telling me I'm not recognized. You know what I'm saying? Like they were trying to say no one would sit with us. The Gambinos were shitting on us. No one would sit with us. So because of Joe. So a lot of my guys were saying, nobody's fucking telling us that. Like, we came under Carmine Galante. You know what I'm saying? So it was like a whole thing. And then finally, Years went by. I went away for 3 to 6. I came home, and then I remember I got assigned to Vinny because Ronnie was in jail. So now I'm working directly for Vinny, who's a captain on the committee. And I remember him telling me we got our official boss because he turned it down. He didn't want it. They asked him like 3 times, Vinny. He goes, I don't want it. All of a sudden, he goes, Tommy DeFury. They give it to Tommy DeFury, a guy from Long Island. He wasn't really a tough guy. They just put him in, Mikey knows, just put him in place and made him the official boss. And he told Vinny, you have to be my consigliere. Like, you have to. Vinny's like, no. Leave me on the committee. He ended up being consigliere. He was doing both positions. So he was running the family with Tommy DeFury when that whole Latanza indictment happened, if you remember.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, the Bonannos, you said, were known as the wild murder family.
They were. They killed everybody, like the Colombos.
Why do you think that they really focus on the murders as opposed to the money?
I don't know. It's just Brooklyn guys. A lot of Bonannos were out of Brooklyn, Queens. There's something in the water with us. I don't know, bro.
Okay.
These fucking Brooklyn dudes are murderers. I don't know what it is. The Colombos are based out of Brooklyn. All they do is shoot each other and throw grenades at each other. They're just lunatics, you know what I'm saying? It's just the way it happens, you know?